to be a full member of the international community. We should not relent in our efforts to ensure Taiwan's due recognition in the international arena.
The minister's remarks were thus strengthened by the Taiwanese ambassador, who took the opportunity to acknowledge Banjul's endeavors in letting Taiwan receive its rightful share on the international arena.
The Gambia, as a true friend of Taiwan, every year supports the Republic of China, Taiwan in the international arena, including UN, UNFCCC, ICAO, ICAO, conferences and the meetings. Taking this opportunity, I'm very much obliged to convey on behalf of my government and the people to the Gambian government our profound gratitude for the staunch support. It is deeply appreciated.
The Taiwanese ambassador then urged his Gambian counterparts to press on with national development issues. He cites Taiwan as an example of one nation which has emerged from receiving international aid between 1950 and 1965 to becoming a donor, thereby helping many countries, particularly in education, health and agricultural development projects. As Taiwan clocks 102, Banjul and Taipei continue to build on what one may regard as a highly symbolic relation, a partnership that continues to benefit the two countries and their people. Modu Bajan, GRTS News.
Having declared Tuesday, 15th October 2013 as Idul Adha or Tabaski, the Imam Ratib of Banjul, Alhaji Cherno Aliu Maska, and officials of the Gambia Supreme Islamic Council met at the council's office in Kanifing, urging all imams to use their sermons to offer prayers for everlasting peace and prosperity in the Gambia. The Imam Ratib and Council also seized the opportunity to remind all Gambians that Arafat will be observed in Mecca on Monday, 14th October 2013, followed by Tuesday's observance of the Eid. The Imam Ratib and members of the Supreme Islamic Council also took time to wish the President and the entire government and people of the Gambia a blessed and prosperous Idul Adha. The Children and Community Initiative for Development, a public interest-based organization, and the St. Joseph Senior Secondary School have joined celebrants marking the International Day for the Girl Child. The event is marked to increase awareness of the plight of the girl child, as well as providing better platforms for their development in society. Roy Bide has more on that story in this report.
On a day when many all over the world are celebrating the Day of the Girl Child, here in the Gambia, Forigam joined stakeholders to commemorate this day. October 11 is the day set aside for the girl child. This celebration usually gathers stakeholders to figure out the challenges and constraints faced by the girl child. Despite achievements gained in the providing for the development of the girl child, many girls are still faced with challenges to access schooling, a problem that is usually hindered by some cultural and social factors. Cue this year's theme, which centers on innovate to educate. And partners are calling for support to women and girls' education for sustainable development.
She will participate in society if she is educated. She will take part in her community and make a difference. She will see that she matters and her voice is important. Therefore, she will not be a victim of poverty, violence, or illiteracy.
As partners in the children's welfare and development, UNICEF has a special focus on the girl child. According to Robert Leighton, UNICEF, the Gambia Deputy Representative, there are many unschooled girls that need innovation.
Why innovate to educate? Why should we innovate? Well, the situation is that whilst we have more girls in school than ever, there's still a huge amount, I think 17 million girls, not in school. Now, I think those of us present here are the girls that are in school, and certainly I hope that's the case. But there's a huge amount that aren't in school. We need to innovate because we can't keep on going like this. We have to change things. And how we change things is we come up with new ideas. And if we're going to come up with new ideas, we have to take some risks. And maybe some things work, and maybe some things don't. But we really have to push and try and work out how to get more of girls into school.
Empowering girls and ending early marriage was the key message in the speech delivered by Khadijatu Jallow Balde of Action Aid the Gambia. According to her, many girls face risky health issues due to early marriages.
Day of the Girl Child represents an opportunity to call for action on the practice that hold children, especially girls, back. The theme of this year's celebration, as selected by UNICEF, Innovating for Girls' Education, presents an opportunity to emphasize that to improve education globally, we must end early and forced marriages and unwanted teen pregnancies, a practice that prevents millions of girls from completing school.
The government of the Gambia has been taking significant steps in the innovation of the girl child with the implementation of several projects. This, Amikole Mbey, Director of Basic and Secondary Education, says shows that government has long embraced education through innovative strategies. The day continued with a series of activities including educative dramas by school children and musical performances. Rohibite, Grts News.
We have the international news for you when we come back in just a moment. Welcome back. A super cyclone is closing in on India. Heavy rain and wind battered the coast ahead of the storm's arrival. Authorities have declared a red alert and have evacuated nearly 500,000 people. Also, many flights have been cancelled. Authorities say their priority is people's safety. Although they are expecting storm surges and extensive damages, we have details in this report by Deutsche Welle.
Cyclone Pylene is already making itself felt, but this is nothing compared to what's coming. The fishing boats in Vishakhapatnam lie idle. Many fishermen have taken refuge on higher ground. Anyone who goes to sea is risking their life.
Police officials have instructed us not to go out to sea to catch fish, as the cyclone is coming.
Cyclone Pylene is expected to strike India's east coast by nightfall, with winds of up to 220 kilometers per hour. The states of Orissa and Andhra Pradesh are likely to bear the brunt. Some 12 million people are in the path of the storm. Almost 500,000 have evacuated their homes, taking refuge in makeshift shelters. This relief camp in Bhubaneswar, some 60 kilometers from the coast in the state of Orissa, is already close to capacity.
There aren't enough rooms, and it's hard to find accommodation. We haven't had a proper meal since last night. The heavy rains are very troubling, and the toilets aren't functioning.
100 kilometers further down the coast, inhabitants are also worried. Forecasters are predicting a 3-meter storm surge when Pylene strikes, which could have devastating consequences.
Time is running out in the United States. Republicans and Democrats have less than a week to reach a deal on raising the debt ceiling. If they don't, the world's largest economy could default on its bills. On Friday, there were some signs of progress as well. The White House says President Obama might sign a clean bill to raise the debt limit as long as no policy conditions are attached. Obama has been holding talks with everyone from Senate Republicans to business leaders to try to find a way out of the deadlock. We have details of that in this report.
Senate Republicans went to the White House Friday to meet with President Obama. Afterwards, both sides spoke with new optimism about the possibility of avoiding a fiscal crisis. But the president wasn't ready to accept the Republicans' proposal for a short-term increase of the U.S. government's borrowing power.
Proposal that puts a debt ceiling increase at only 6 weeks tied to budget negotiations would put us right back where we are today.
Hundreds of thousands of federal employees remain at home as Congress has still failed to pass a budget to pay their wages. But if lawmakers can't overcome their differences to raise the debt ceiling, the consequence